Greetings, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I'd like to say hello to my professor, and I also like to say hello to my colleagues and fellow scholars and students. What we're going to talk today about is hot and cold medium or media. The guy who phrased the term was Marshall Mcluhan. He was a Canadian media theorist who's best known for his work on the effects of mass media on society. Uh, he's credited with popularizing the term global village, and the medium is the message and extensions of man. Those three, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, McLuhan was born in Canada, 1911. He studied English literature, University of Toronto, and he went to Cambridge in England. He published his most famous book, Understanding Media, The Extensions of Man. This is what I would call the Bible of communications. He argued that the medium is the message, which basically states that the technology apparatus is more important than the content. For example, let's just use the internet. Now, people talk about what internet can be used for. Messages are good and bad. It can be used for consumer. It can be used for pornography. But that's the content for the internet. Every technology has to have a content. So all this mass media, digital stuff is the content for the internet. It changes relationships. That's what I'm saying. Whether it's good or bad, it changes relationship. So what he's saying basically is that means that the form of the medium has a greater impact on society than the content of the medium. So let's say a cell phone. Okay, that would be the medium, and the content is business, dating apps, sports, numerous things. But again, just by having the cell phone has changed relationships, ratios with human relationships and stuff. People is more isolated. But anyway, we're getting to that anyway. Anyway, we're talking about Marshall McLuhan, and again, like I said, the medium is the message. We shape our tools, the phone, the internet, and then the tools shape us. And any medium or technology is an extension of one of our human facilities or capacity, whether it be physical, psychologically. Oh, and another term he came with is the global village, hot media, cold media, and extension of man. Now, Marshall McLuhan defined hot media as media that are high definition, which means a lot of data. It provides a lot of sensory information. It requires little participation from the audience. For example, film, because there's so much data and information in there, and you become kind of like passive. Television, high definition video games, and virtual reality. See, hot media extends a single sense, since it's hearing or sight. They can be very engaging and capture attention for long periods of time. Now, this could be positive, negative. And another thing, this is just like I'm in kindergarten on this, but hot media can also be turned into a cold media depending on what it's used for. For example, hot media can be used to educate and inform us, but also they can be used to manipulate and control us. I mean, you got some good examples. Radio can be used to broadcast news and information, educate people, and it also can be used to spread propaganda and incite violence, like Adolf Hitler. Then you could have a great speech like Martin Luther King. Film can be used to tell stories, educate people, and also can be used to promote violence and hatred. You see all the phone that we have. And same thing with television. You can broadcast news and information to educate people and to entertain them. But again, it also can be used to promote racism, violence, sexism, and other harmful stereotypes. High definition games can be used to teach people new skills, and they also can promote violence and addiction. Virtual reality can be used to train people for dangerous jobs, to help them learn about new cultures, to entertain them, and also can be used to create an immersive experience. That also can be addictive and harmful. It's important to be aware of the different effects that hot media can have on us. We should use hot media in moderation and be mindful of the content that we consume. Again, hot and cold mediums are terms coined term by Marshall Mcluhan. Again, this is described through different types of media or mediums based on how much sensory or senses information they provide and how much audience participation that they require. Again, hot media is a high definition, which means high data, and provides lots of senses information. And they require, this is the important part, they require very little information. Excuse me. They provide a lot of information, but they require a little participation from the audience. For example, let me use a hot media like television. Television is a one-way. You're very passive. Television extends your hearing and your sight. You become very passive. And one of the effects of television that has brought down the literacy rate and has brought in consumerism. That's another study because of a lot of, television. You said everything on television. But what Marshall Mcluhan is saying, I think he's saying that hot media tends to extend a single sense while cold media tends to engage multiple senses. For example, radio extends the sense of hearing, while film extends the sense of sight. And television extends both the senses of sight and hearing. But film gives you so much data and information. That's why you have problems with relationships, because you go home after seeing a 160-foot screen thinking that her lips are going to be as big as. But anyway, to summarize it or try to create a distinction between hot and cold media, Marshall Mcluhan argues that hot media is more efficient at transferring information, but it's also more limited in its ability to engage the audience. Where he would say a cold medium like radio, on the other hand, is less efficient at transmitting data or information, but the participant is more open to interpretation and engagement from the audience. I think my mic is falling down. So there is a definition. And also Marshall McLuhan used the term extension of man to describe the ways in which media and technology amplify our senses and ability. He believed that media and technology are not simply tools that we use, but rather a part of our bodies, psyche, and minds. He identified a number of different extensions of man, including, check out and see what his hypothesis is. The will extends our legs and allows us to travel long distance. Clothing extends our skins and protects us from the elements. The book extends our eyes, allows us to store and transmit data or information. The telephone extends our ears and allows us to communicate with people who are distant and far away. The television extends our eyes and ears, allows us to experience events that are happening in other parts of the world. And of course, you got the internet, the computer, which extends our minds and allow us to process information more efficiently. So Marshall McLuhan believes that each extension of man has a profound effect on society. For example, the invention of the Gutenberg or the printing press, he believes led to the Protestant Reformation and the rise of nationalism because of printing. And again, print is an extension, or the content of print is the written word, and the content of the written word is speech, and the content of speech is non-verbal thought. Everything's connected. Marshall McLuhan's work is still relevant today as we continue to develop new media technology. His insights can help us understand the impact of these technology and society and to be more critical consumer of the media. Some examples of his work are still relevant today. He predicted the rise of the internet, again in that book, Understanding Media, which was published in 1964. He wrote about the global village that would be created by new media technology, and that social media would indeed create a global village where people from over the world could connect and share data and information. Now, the spread of information warms about, again, the medium is the message. Again, the spread of information. Marshall McLuhan also warned about the dangers of that, and we can see that in contemporary times. The medium is the message, because the form of the medium can influence how we interpret the content. In other words, you read a newspaper, it's different than seeing it on the 6 o'clock news. Especially, now in the digital age where it's easy to spread information through social media and other platforms. And Marshall McLuhan also gave us the importance, how important is that media literacy. And his work, that type of work, has never been more important than it is today, as we are bombarded with media messages from all sides. It's essential and vital to be able to critically evaluate media message and the medium, and to be aware of the ways in which media can be used to manipulate us. Excuse me. Marshall McLuhan's work is challenging, complex, but I think it's essential for understanding the impact of media on our world today. And thank you very, very much, and have a great day, night, evening, and year.